the enduring quality of a rock. And this rock that Joshua placed there beside that tree in the last chapter of the book of Joshua that spoke its testimony as a witness. And it was a witness to what God had done in the past. And there was also a witness concerning those who would fall away in the future. And so this would always be a memorial of witness against those who would follow after Ashtoreth and the god Baal. They would turn their back on God and turn their faces away from God. This all spoke as a testimony. It says that this rock will cry out, it says. It will speak. And I believe that we have those same things today. And it's amazing to me how that we read in the scripture how that Jesus would be that witness of things that he saw and that he observed, and that he shared those things with us to teach us and to instruct us. There was a time that says that Jesus was in the temple. This is getting close to the time that of his crucifixion, and he was just watching and observing. And he saw how that these wealthy people would come into the temple and they would bring their bags of money, and it was a big display of how they were showing off how supposedly they were faithful to God. But God wasn't impressed. Jesus, when he saw this, he understood these people were wealthy, and they were not sacrificing to bring what they brought. And but yet they wanted to give the impression that they were. And then there came in this little woman, and Jesus described her as being a poor widow woman. And she came in and she took a few coins and she put them there. And that was to Jesus. He said, she has given more than all of these others because she has given of her need. In other words, this was a testimony of her faithfulness to God and her true love for God and her willingness to give what she did not have because of her faith. You see, this is a witness, and this is what Joshua was displaying when he placed that rock there. He says, all of these things that people do, people say, the life that you live, it stands as a witness and it stands as a testimony, and it will speak. And it will speak now, and it will speak through the generations. When others come along and they see this, they'll say, well, what's this all about? And it speaks to them. Well, you see, the thing is that Scripture tells us that a person who once was faithful to God and has walked away, he says, their plight is worse than it was in the beginning. Because now the price that they will pay upon their departure from this earth is even worse. And it stands as a memorial. It stands as a testimony, a witness concerning a life that is now lost, that once was saved, but now faces the consequences of their behavior as a witness against them, even as they stand before God. This is Pastor Jack King with the gospel on the radio broadcast.